Hi there, welcome to my channel. I've been playing of Ash and Steel, which is an RPG that basically says, what if we were to remove every quest marker and just let you figure things out? Okay, today we're looking at what's actually new here, what works and what doesn't, and whether this game is worth your time. So, Of Ash and Steel is an open world, low fantasy RPG where you play a shipwrecked cartographer named Tristan. And one thing that for me immediately stood out after playing an hour or so is that it gives new meaning to the no hand holding thing. There aren't any quest markers, just barely a map, and the NPCs they only give you vague directions like head past the mill and follow the river. And honestly, that was kind of refreshing. I had moments where I wandered around and found a random hermit or something else, and I stumbled into side quests, and it felt like I found them myself, not because the game was pushing me to that direction. But yeah, that's one part of the story. Most of the time I just felt lost, and not in a good way. More like I have no idea where this quest is, and if I'm running in circles again. Another big thing this game tries to do differently is how the progression system works. You start off extremely weak. When you swing a sword, it's really clumsy, enemies hit hard, stamina drains fast, and that's how it's meant to be. You're supposed to feel like someone who's never actually fought before. And as you progress in the game, you unlock different weapons and different stances, you get passive bonuses and even professions like blacksmithing or survival. And later on, it's also possible to join different factions, which shape what kind of character you want to be. And when it starts to click, it really works. But it will take a long while to get there. The slow rise from nobody to somebody is one of the game's best feelings. But to be honest, the first hours they felt a bit like a drag. So yeah, it's deep, but it's also grindy. And how about the world and the atmosphere? For me, this is also the part of the game where it started to mess up. The island itself, it's nice. The lighting, the forest, the villages, pretty solid. Especially when keeping in mind this is a mid-budget game. A lot of the NPCs are fully voiced, so the world has personality more than I expected. But then the rough edges show up, dated character models, very stiff animations, weird lip syncing, performance dips, quests which didn't trigger for me, and NPCs doing strange things. And for me all that felt a bit like that classic ambitious but unpolished vibe. So how did it affect my gameplay? I have to say when everything behaves as it should, the immersion works, but when it doesn't, it breaks pretty fast. And how does it compare to other RPGs? Well, I felt that if you're used to modern open world games like myself, this is going to feel slow, rough and a bit undercooked. The UI is minimal, the world doesn't guide you, and there's no big polished campaign pushing you along. But if you're more a fan like the older RPGs such as Gothic, where you start off weak, the world is dense instead of huge, and you actually have to listen to what NPCs have to say, then this game is trying to bring that feeling back, and sometimes it even succeeded in doing that. But having said that, I feel that the problem is that we're in 2025 now, and most players expect a certain baseline of polish, and this is something this game doesn't always give you. And now for my honest take, what is my verdict and score for this game? So if you enjoy old school RPGs, you don't mind a bit of a Yankee game, and you want a world that doesn't hold your hand, this game has some genuinely cool ideas. When everything lines up, it feels different in a good way. But if you're a person that gets frustrated easily, or you just want something smooth and polished, this probably isn't for you. For me personally, I have to say I'm a big fan of this genre and I've played numerous of games. So looking at the ambition, the interesting progression, the atmosphere, and on the other hand the bugs, slow pacing and the rough early hours, I would give this game a 6.5 out of 10. It's not actually a rehash, but it's also not a masterpiece. It's a bold, messy throwback that some of you will really love, and some of you won't. Alright, that's all for me, and I want to thank you all for watching. And please consider subscribing to my channel, which really helps me out. I'll see you in the next one.